What I really love, and I think what you will fall in love with OneNote, is that you're not going in and out of folders anymore, wondering where you set a document. With OneNote, you can bring your files across and sit them right there on a page, and they're visible. And you can sit them on the page that's relevant to the program or planning. So the resources here came from the CSO. They're our Year 3 religion resources, and they were sitting in a folder. I've now brought them in, and they're sitting right there as a critical part of our planning for our RE for Term 1. To put a file into OneNote, you simply go Insert, a File Attachment, and you look for the document you'd like to put in. So if I'm putting in Makerspace file, it's asking me here, would I like to put it in simply as a file, which is what we can see there, a little icon, a link, or would I like a printout where I can actually have that document opened so I can see what's on it? At the moment I just want the file, and there it is. What I can do is open that document, work on it, save it, and then when I go back, it's still in the same spot and it's updated. So that's inserting a file. I would suggest you go and find files that you think you might like to use and bring them across. Practice doing it a few times over until it becomes second nature. Feel free to add a page and call it something like 2015 and start inserting files that you used last year that you don't know if you want them this year, but you might like to refer to them. So there's an option there for that. What I do with documents that I use regularly, like my overview or curriculum maps, is I insert them as a file printout so I can see what's on the document. So the benefit of this is I don't have to open this to be able to see what it is, in case I've forgotten. I can write on this document here, but these changes are not saving to the original up here. So if you're happy to just leave this open and you're never going to alter this printout, you can write over it and that's okay. What I do sometimes, let's just get rid of that. I'll go to another one. What I do is I can open the actual original file. I can make some changes on here. I might be going to do this in Term 1 and this skill in Term 2. And then I can save those changes. And they are locked in now to that document. And when I go back, on more recent versions of OneNote, you will actually get a message here saying the printout below, which is this, is out of date. So OneNote has recognised that I've made a change here and that it's not being reflected here on the printout. And it will say, would you like to refresh this printout? And you say yes, and the changes will appear. Now the version of OneNote that we're currently using at school doesn't have that option. It'll be upgraded this year, but I don't know when. So what I'll show you is what I do when I make a change similar to that. I go in and I make my change, and then I simply delete that original one. Let's get rid of this. So I'll delete that. I'll make my changes here on this original document, and then I'll close it, and I will say insert it as a printout. And there it is, and you can see now it has the two crosses on it. Yeah, that is cumbersome, and it's why I guess Microsoft brought in the option that when I do make a change up here, that it tells me that my printout is out of date. So look forward to that coming, because it will be good. So there you can see I've added an extra one. I will save it. You can see it's, oh, here it is, it's come up for me now. The printout below may be out of date. Right click here to refresh. You will not get this, so refresh printout. You will not get this on the school computer, but if you have OneNote 2013 at home, you will have that option. So that's a really cool tool, and I use that a lot. But, you know, at school you can overcome it simply by clicking on it, deleting it, and just saying, could you please refresh a printout? And so you're manually doing it, I guess. When you do get a printout, this one doesn't have one, so I'll add one. It's so easy, you'll pick it up in no time. When you do have a printout, up here, this here is telling you where it came from originally. Now, in my early days, naive to OneNote, I used to delete this here. I'd delete that little picture, and I would delete this link, simply because I didn't like the look of it, and I thought it was tidier without it. A big mistake. Leave it there so that if you ever need to go back, you know what you're looking for. So you'll make mistakes, and you can see me deleting all of those was ridiculous in the beginning, but you will only learn by doing, and you'll even find other little tricky shortcuts, and there's probably heaps out there that I don't even know about yet with OneNote. So make it your own, mould it to be whatever you would like it to be. I have really suggested for this year that when you are programming, that you don't just copy and paste Word documents in, because for me personally, I like to write all over my work, and if I want to refresh the printout, it just becomes messy. So you'll see here, I actually type directly onto the page. I don't insert a document. I do insert my resources, and I will insert, there's not one there. You can see here I've put in some, for my resources, you can see I've put a link. But you know what, because everything is so new, and if it's easier to insert a page like this to get started, just do it. All you need to do is get into OneNote, play around in it, and honestly, you'll never leave it.